Today is your day. If you have been going through identity loss, identity crisis, not knowing where you should go and who you are anymore, then I am so excited to have you here with me right now because I want to share something with you that can hopefully give you some insight and some direction as to how to navigate out of this state into a place of ego and soul integration, a place of calm, certainty, and a joy for life again. If you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm so happy to see you guys again. And I have a couple announcements. So the first thing being the standard, if you want to be a part of this community at a deeper level, sign up below to the newsletter. I'm also going to send you my 3-step identity rebuilding guide. But as newer news, I'm going to be opening up my calendar for one-on-one integration calls. Now, normally I do all my with my clients. I get all my clients through private means. I have a business that I run, an academy that I run, that if anyone needs any integration help, that I have run them through my program for the last little while. But I am finally opening it up to all of you guys. So it's going to be in about maybe a week or so before I can actually launch everything. I just got to make sure the back end is operational and we have as few hiccups as possible, as you know, technology can kind of be a bit of a problem every once in a while. But if you want to get first dibs and you want to book a call with me before anyone else, you can click that button below. If you sign up to the newsletter, I'm going to be sending out the booking link to that crew first before I actually launch it out to all you guys here on YouTube. Okay, so we are wanting to move towards ego and soul integration. Now, it's such a difficult concept to sort of wrap your head around. You know, what does that even mean? You know, I always mention it's the communication going back and forth from ego to soul. No stone unturned within the unconscious as much as possible. Meaning, old traumas, old pains, old habits and stories we bring to the forefront and contend with them and decide whether it's something we have to make peace with, let go of, and then possibly reimagine, reinterpret our life moving forward. It all depends on the individual, it depends on the context, depends on your life story. But I have been really struggling to try to map it out in a way that I can visually show you. I'm also a visual learner. And so it's something I drew out. I have it on my notebook, and I call this the integration mandorla. And I think that's how I pronounce it. Sometimes I have a tongue twist, which, by the way, this is why if you guys have watched my videos for a little bit, I don't edit any of my videos, because as someone who wants to guide and coach and mentor individuals towards integration, I feel I want you to see me in my most genuine self. You know, if I stutter and mess up and have to think, I want you to see that unfiltered. I just feel it's the right thing to do for me. So I'm just very excited and looking forward to showing you this. Okay, so let's see if the camera can catch it. So you see you have 3 circles. You have your past/shadow, your present, which is obviously today, your future/potential. You have 2 intersection points right over here between the past and the future. Integration, to me, is that you are in the moment, day to day, doing the daily inputs required for you to have a healthy mindset, healthy soul, clear of old pains as much as possible, and feeling calm and connected with life and nature. But at the same time, we have to have a touch with the future. You need to touch what it is you're going to be doing. What direction do you want to move in? Some soft vision. You don't want to just completely abandon it. You know, oftentimes I hear particular advice, you know, I've tried for myself that says be fully in the present, but that often goes against my own nature too. You know, I'm sure it works for some, but for my nature, I need to have a sense of where I'm going. I need to have at least a North Star. That way I can actually feel driven towards and have meaning and a calling. But we do not want to obsess. One mistake I've made in the past is I've obsessed about the future. Feeling that so if I get here, everything will be great. Life will be perfect. And what ends up happening is you miss everything. You miss the laughs, the joys of just living and existing, and you blink. You just want to blink the days until you get to this pot of gold. which oftentimes is not always what you think. And oftentimes it isn't. But you want to still have a grip with it. Then you have your past or / your shadow. You want to have a grip within that as well, a soft grip. Meaning you want to always make sure if there's something you need to tend to, if there's a pain, if there's emotions, if there's a story you have to reflect on and see whether or not it actually has utility in your life today, that's something you have to deal with. Because the alternative is we completely blank and just repress everything. And what happens when you repress anything that is of inner conflict, pain, and trauma that you suppress long enough turns to repression, meaning you are no longer consciously aware of it. And then it will control your life. It will control you through the filter. You see, everything from the unconscious, it filters out and it pushes it up into the ego. And so you'll be living day to day, avoiding certain things, not taking action from a place of fear, anxiety, and stress and worry, coming from a story, a narrative that we have been living by for a long time. And that story can have been true at one point, but because we haven't contended with it, it still lives as if it's real today. And so then it warps and it dents everything you see coming out from the conscious awareness. But at the same time, if we live in the past, it has the same issue. We no longer can look forward to the future, which the future brings hope. The future is when you imagine the blue skies, puffy clouds, rolling hills, the symbolism of the potential of what you can have, the unity that you can have internally with maybe a family or people who you love around you. Whatever that means to you, it's the future that brings you some hope. And if you get trapped in a past story, then you're missing out. And so it's about having them touch the intersection point. You are aware of them, but you are not gripped by them. And so that is what integration in some sense is. You get to feel joy. You get to feel happiness, but you do not try to obsess over them. You can feel anger. You can feel resentment and jealousy because it's human nature. You're going to feel them, but you're not possessed by them. You can see into the future as to what you want. You can have an idea, a North Star that you want to put your life towards. But again, you are not obsessed by it. You're ready to shift if you need to. The soul guides, the ego organizes. The ego organizes the way there, make sure you're safe and make sure you're doing the right things and the steps to get there. But the soul will navigate. The soul navigates you to the place where you are going to feel most true to yourself and to the life you want to live. Not someone else's, yours. And the same thing with the past. Contend with the past. Connect with it, understand it, bring everything forward that you've been trying to avoid. And remember, you were to feel all range of emotion. Because to label bad or good from within is going to put you into a conflict. So you can feel emotion. You can be angry at someone for cutting you off. You can be frustrated at somebody maybe saying something that agitated you, that you felt like they shouldn't have said that. You were allowed to feel those feelings, but they, again, do not grip you. They do not control you. You allow yourself to feel and pass it through. Because when you stay in that razor's edge, that sweet spot, you feel calm, content, but yet ambitious. You feel that you are driven towards something, but not obsessed. You want to be a part of a community, but you're not just going to conform blindly, and you're not going to rebel out of anger. You're going to genuinely find where you fit and where you sit happily. It is a wonderful, wonderful place to be. And so I hope that this video today gave you some insight as to what integration is and how moving towards that is going to bring your life such peace, It is unimaginable. So if this resonated with you and you want to take it a step further, click that button below. It'll send you over to my website. Sign up to my monthly newsletter, and I'm going to send you my 3-step identity rebuilding guide. It's a toolkit to help you navigate through identity loss, rebuild purpose, rediscover who you are, and move towards an ego soul integrated lifestyle. And then finally, with that exciting news that I'm going to be opening up my calendar for one-on-one integration calls in the coming week or so. So if you want first dibs, click that button, sign up to the newsletter. I'm going to send out the link before I send it out to the channel here. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.